We're going to speed through this so that we don't take too much time as well. My name is Mali Hazia. I'm the Associate Director at Legal Aid Society. We're very lucky to have a great, eminent panel today who I'd like to invite up on stage. I'd like to start with inviting Justice Nasra Iqbal to the stage. Although she begs very little introduction, she is one of the first senior female judges of the Pakistan High Court. She is a law professor and has served as she was a justice in the Lahore High Court from 1994 to 2002. She has a degree in international property law from Punjab Universities and a master's of law from Harvard University. She is a professor at the Quaid-e-Azam Law College and the School of Law. She has been the president of the Lahore High Court Bar Association and a member of the Pakistan Law and Justice Commission. She has been awarded the Satara Imtiaz. She has been awarded the Wonder Woman Award. She has been awarded the Fatma Jinnah Medal Award. And she is a great inspiration to all of us female lawyers and male lawyers across Pakistan. So, Madam, I would love to welcome you to the panel. I would next like to invite Justice Ali Bakir Najfi, who is a Pakistani jurist and a senior judge of the Lahore High Court since 2012. He is a member of the Administration Committee of the Lahore High Court. In his life before a judge, he was one of the most prominent lawyers in Punjab and was a professor at the Punjab University Law College for over 12 years. During the course of his legal profession, he has conducted a large number of cases before the lower courts, Federal Shariat Court and the High Court and the Supreme Court. Since his elevation to the High Court, he has decided more than 18,000 cases of many, many different kinds, as well as been on many inquiries. In particular, I would like to mention his recent judgment of Mudassir Shah, where he particularly, I think, single-handedly reignited the UK and Pakistan protocol on the cases of abduction of children. Thank you so much for joining us, Justice Najfi. I'd then like to invite Dr. Qadir Alam, who is the AIG of prison in Punjab. He has an LLM in criminal law and criminal justice, and his PhD thesis focused on death row phenomena. He is a published author in various recognized journals and 2 blogs published as well, currently working at the AIG prisons at the Home Department of the Government of Sindh. He is responsible for a wide variety of changes within the prison systems, which we're very anxious and looking forward to hearing today. Dr. Qadir, would like to welcome you to the panel. And last, I'd like to invite Mr. Javed Mahmood, who has worked as the Office of the United Nations of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva since 2008. He is the Human Rights Officer lead of the implementation of the UN Commission position on incarceration. He also advises on drug policy and human rights. He represents the OHCHR, the UN Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice in Vienna. He is also a member of the UN Task Force on Drug-Related Matters and the UN Follow-up and Coordination Mechanism on the Common Position of Incarceration established by the Executive Committee of the Secretary General. From 2008 until 2017, he was the advisor on the abolition of the death penalty and also works on the Commission of Inquiry, Witness and Victim Protection and other accountability-related issues. So we would like to welcome you to Pakistan and welcome you to this panel in particular. I will not go into too many details. I had a nice long introduction planned, which nobody will want to hear given the paucity of time. So very briefly, I want to emphasize that the prison situation in Pakistan has become very, very dire. Overcrowding has, Pakistan, the latest statistics roughly say we are 134% over the capacity of prisons in Pakistan. There are various reasons for this, whether we are talking about reasons for the recent law reform and the impact it has had, the pre-trial processes which have led to long-term incarceration, whether we are talking about the socio-economic factors which contribute to a larger number of people being in prison who are from a lower economic background. But suffice it to say, efforts have been made over the course of years, whether we talk about the National Judicial Making Policy, whether we talk about the model courts that were done under Justice Kosa, whether we're talking about the Sindh government's Committee of Prisoners, which has worked for over 25 years in providing free legal aid, whether we are talking about mediation and alternative dispute resolution that Justice Mansoor talked about in his opening remarks, trying to talk about deviation from the courts. But needless to say, the problem still persists. So I'd like to turn over to the esteemed panel, and starting with you, Justice Nasra, if you have a few words to say about it. In your opinion, what are the drivers and why are the prisons overcrowded? Why are the prisons in Pakistan so overcrowded? And what are the problems that come from it?
Most of the so-called offenders are actually incarcerated because they have to be put somewhere. And they put them in the prison. And the prisons don't have that kind of capacity. And once they are in the prison, they forget about where they are and they just stay there.
After that, they've turned off my mic. Apologies for the electronic mix-up. So, Justice Nasra, what you're saying is that due to the lack of other alternative sources or places or institutions to place potentially incarcerated persons or persons under trial, they have been sent into prison and forgotten about in one
And
way.
they are not supposed to be incarcerated with the under trial, with the convicted prisoners. But the convicts and the under trial, they are all kept in the same place. So there's very little chance of justice emerging in this kind of situation.
All right. Thank you so much, madam.